Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's final front load and another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And we are going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. I wanted to rant. I'll make it brief. Can we stop age shaming people? People age. Okay? Some of us slower than others. This is me pushing 40. Okay? Stop it. It's annoying at this point, alright? Nobody looks 20 forever. I can't with people. I literally can't. Let's go through the disclaimers before I go into another rant. In the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much. They have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article and share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat. God, I hope there's a storm. Sorry. As well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, folks, in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Also included in there, the Ozarks' first article in regards to the Agape boarding school, now known as Stone for Help boarding school situation, a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens, that has impending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it, all which have been substantiated by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another, a doctor still on the premises, full access to the boys, up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You have an attorney general too busy chasing after drag queens and trying and failing to defund public libraries to actually do his job, and you got a governor off his nuts, so send help. Please read that article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is, as always, Hoya's massive archive on the rewind. All the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Hoya's massive archive on the subject, Jennifer Maseba's behavioral sheet of shockable offenses, a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins back in 2002, the templates, and the ever-present, self-explanatory Change.org Shed the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised, alright? Another trigger warning. This is from the New England Law Review. It was written in the summer of 1988. You're going to see ableism, abuse, apologia, and defending parents who sign their kids up to be tortured at places like the JRC, excusing them and calling it treatment. In spite of the fact that at this time, the reason why the actions had taken place for which they are writing this review occurred due to the death that was caused by the JRC when they tied a young man, spread eagle, all 4 arms and legs tied up, face down, with a noise-canceling white noise helmet on, who died of asphyxiation. So just be prepared for that, alright? And from any outbursts from me, because I can't help myself. All right, where we left off last time. May parents request a substituted judgment order contrary to statute, public policy, or constitutional right of the patients? A substituted judgment determination allows the parents an opportunity to present facts before an impartial forum concerning treatment for a child. Lie! That's a lie. The facts that you present go thusly. Well, when they hit my child, when they pinch and scar and scab my child, when they starve and sleep deprive my child, they behave better. Those are your facts. Let's not play fast and loose with the truth here just because you want to call it medical treatment. It's not treatment if it won't be used on war criminals. Can we call it what it is? Okay? Those are your facts. Those are your facts. The issue would not be before the court at all unless the requested order was not contrary to the statute, public policy, the constitutional rights of the patient, or advice of the attending physician. The purpose of the substituted judgment order is to provide protection to the provider and parent from civil and criminal penalties. If you're putting your kid in a torture hole and allowing them to be abused, it is a sad day for justice when you're not allowed to face the justice you deserve. Dr. Israel, every last one of his acolytes, all the parents who defend this horrendous place and who will literally still go for this man when he's responsible for 6 deaths of innocent kids. If you go up and defend this man, if you will defend your right to send your kid to a torture hellhole, and you continue to be able to move around in society, you belong behind bars. That's it. That's all. You can sit there and say, but now they're better behaved, they're not abusing themselves anymore, and continue to throw that in my face all you want to. But the first thing in the medical profession that they teach you, mental health or otherwise, is first, do no harm. If you are leaving bruises on a child's arm unnecessarily, that is harm. And do not use the surgery thing. We all know it is not the same thing. When those staff members were basically pinching those kids until they bleed in some of the most sensitive parts of their body, they weren't doing so to do a heart transplant, all right? That is an ignorant statement beyond all imaginings. God, I might as well be talking to my wall here. This is not to say the parent or party requesting always wins, rather the thoroughness to which the evidence is scrutinized. I want evidence that this is actually scrutinized. Give me one decision from any of the Massachusetts judges that ever said that the student does not get aversives. One, provide it for me. I'm an evidence on the table kind of girl. Provide me evidence that they ever said no one time. Please. All parties and means for presenting experts in the field, as well as giving the judge opportunity to observe the sincerity of the parents. Jesus Christ. I sincerely want you to torture my child. Okay. Jesus. If parents are unable to retain relief from arbitrary decisions of state agencies, a request for their substituted judgment determination allows the court to revise the treatment plan the parents wish their child to receive. I want my child to continue to be tortured, and I want you to not interfere, said every abusive parent ever. Once issued, the substituted judgment order becomes superior to statute, public policy, constitutional rights of the patient, and attending physician recommendations. A parent's request for substitute judgment order must be viewed in light of the most favorable to the parent when the request is made as part of an ongoing family relationship, regardless of whether that decision is popular. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Fuck you. Fuck you You abuse apologist piece of human trash. Their wants, their needs must be put above everyone else's, including the child's. That is what you're saying here. You're saying that the child's well-being, their physical and mental health must be sacrificed at the altar of their parents' wishes. Okay? That's what this says here. Let's be blunt, shall we? You believe that parental rights supersedes every other law out there, and that it should be always made on the parents, in the parents' favor every single time. If we did that in regular family law, where there is obvious evidence of abuse, you'd be laughed out of the courtroom. But because we're disabled, this is what I mean when I say people don't view us as human. They look at us as subhuman. The necessary evil they have to put up with because of the simple fact that we exist. And they believe that they should have the right, the parents should have the right to send us to any treatment program they feel like, whether it harms us or not, as long as the parents get the results that they want. It doesn't matter if we are being severely harmed every single day. Doesn't matter if we have to live in fear at the residential homes and inside the school. It doesn't matter the mental or physical damage that is being done to us, as long as the parents are happy with our behavior. This is psychotic. This is the mindset of the Massachusetts courts when it comes to people with disabilities. And the one agency that tried to stand up for us because they did not have the unlimited funds to fight the JRC got punished for it. And now are so much over a barrel by the Massachusetts courts that all they can do is sign the license every year. If they dare even try to show a shred, even so much as a shred of compassion for the students, they get drugged through the courts again. And if you think this went the way of the dodo in 1988, I'm afraid that's just not true, friends, because the JRC since then has upgraded their tortures to far more horrendous levels when they came up with the GET, leaving third and second degree burns on their victims for refusing to remove their coat, shocking them into literal catatonia. But it's okay, because now the parents are no longer afraid to take their kids out in public. Yeah. Turns your stomach and makes you sick, doesn't it? That there are people out there to this day willing to defend these atrocities to the same level that this lawyer is doing here in this document. Saying that the parents' wants, the parents' desires, what they need out of their child is more important than the child's physical and mental health and well-being. It should make you want to throw up. It should make you angry. If it doesn't, you're not human. This is what we're up against, folks. It hasn't changed in Massachusetts since 1988. They're all still the same. This is the same monster we are fighting now. This is why we had to go even above our own federal government, who continues to twiddle their thumbs and pretend what's going on at the JRC isn't happening. why we had to go over their heads and go directly to the UN, because our own federal government continues to refuse to get involved and save those kids. This is why I get angry with either side bringing kids into any argument. As long as you sit there and be willfully blind while children with disabilities are being tortured with impunity, and you want to talk about defending kids, sit down. I'm going to go ahead and close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time, so please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.